Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the 25th edition of Cinema Effect. I'm Zach, and I'm joined by Disney's number one hater, Jaden,
What's up?
and John Cena, Fitzy Liam.
Hey.
He's just Liam in the recording. He's gone boring.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You have to edit that out now. The John Cena.
That's true. Yeah, it doesn't apply this week. Yeah, that's a shame. You know, I've never actually asked, I don't think. How do you guys feel about me starting the show with greetings? Because I don't know about it. Because, you know, other options are like, what's up, guys? You know, that's kind of cringe. I feel like
G'day,
greetings
everybody.
is a bit sophisticated. G'day. Yeah, I don't mind that either, actually. That's not bad.
How's it
Any
going?
complaints?
Nah.
Well,
No. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, how else would you do it, though? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I reckon, swap it up between, a good day, how's it going? Sup fuckers, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be great. I don't know. Yeah, okay. No, I might start mixing it up a little bit, I think. Okay. Because I feel like real comfortable podcasters might just start talking as opposed to even feel the need to do the intro. Because it is kind of a bit, I don't know, it feels a bit like an obligation, but... Well, for the uninitiated, this is Cinema Effect, the podcast where we review and talk about a different movie every single week. The show posts every Monday. You can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, maybe Amazon if they're kind to us. So subscribe on all those things. Leave us a 5-star rating because nothing less is acceptable. And follow the Instagram page. Take part in the polls. Get notifications for when the show goes live, all that great stuff. Remember to submit your questions, thoughts, reviews to the show via the YouTube comments section every single week. We read those at the end of the show. Our specific question of this week, though, will be, who's your favourite actress in the world today? Or, I don't know, I guess actually if past is acceptable too. Whatever you like. Any actress that's ever existed, let us know. This week we're talking about a little movie called The Station Agent. And, I'm mixing up the data dump. I just want to announce it. Just so, all our hardcore fan base, the many, many thousands of them, are just aware of what we're doing here. So, I guess is it called the data dash now? Because it's really fast?
Oh, that's good.
Wow, that's clever.
Oh, I thought you were going to hate it.
No.
Oh, no, it was kind of sarcastic, but it was kind of...
It was kind of like slightly appreciative of it.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, anyway, guys, The Station Agent opened in the US on the 5th of December 2003. It was directed by Tom McCarthy, and its synopsis is, when his only friend dies, a man born with dwarfism moves to rural New Jersey to live a life of solitude, only to meet a chatty hot dog vendor. God, yeah, he is chatty. Holy shit, that's a great way to describe him. And a woman dealing with her own personal loss. How do we feel about The Station Agent? Who was it of you two that recommended it? I can't remember.
Fitzy.
Yeah, I think I did. Because I was just looking through the other stuff that, like, Peter Dinklage did to just try and find stuff that was more, like, acclaimed or whatever.
Cool.
I just found this one.
Awesome. Well, yeah, what did you think of it? Because I hadn't heard of it either.
Yeah, it was really good. For what it was kind of, it did the indie thing really well. Like, I didn't really have any problems with it. So.
Yeah. It did feel indie, but I liked that about it, I guess. But yeah, did you like it, Jaden?
Yeah, it was cute, quaint, did what it needed to do. A little bit boring at times, but, I think I thought it was pretty good, Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah. It's this weird movie where it's super easy to watch. It's really lighthearted. It's really, yeah. It's just it's straightforward. It does what it does. It's kind of charming in places, and you kind of get out of it, and you're like, yeah, it was pretty good. Like, I don't know, what kind of major criticisms anyone could really have about it. Nor do I really know if anyone could find it an amazing experience at all. I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of just is simple and it's kind of realistic. Like, there's not any huge drama or anything, but it still works really well.
It's such a mundane film about mundane people, and then, sometimes you like that.
That's true. That's really true. Peter Dinklage is at the heart of this movie, obviously. I don't know. This movie, I feel like, loses it's a charming enough story, but I feel like that dwarfism perspective of that character is kind of a whole lot would be lost without it. And I don't know. I feel like he's a solid place to start. He's really good in the movie. Not that I need anyone, he doesn't need any validation for anyone to tell him that he's a good actor, obviously. But he's great. Was this? Do we know? Is this like a pretty major first role for him, or was he known before this?
I think I read this was his like breakout.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that. I can see that for sure. Although he was in that amazing Lassie 2006 remake, so
I mean, that was 3 years later, so.
that's true. But maybe I'm saying like that's really what got him into Game of Thrones.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I felt for him totally in this movie. I feel like he was kind of the character was a little bit too much of an asshole at times, and not that it's unjustified necessarily, because he obviously has to deal with a lot of shit from everyone in day-to-day life, and he doesn't deal with anything I would say that I wouldn't be able to write down on paper that a dwarf probably has to deal with, or that a little person probably has to deal with on a daily basis. People are mean to him, people are assholes, all that stuff that it sounds pretty standard. But nonetheless, still seeing it kind of take place, like the woman who worked at the mini bar or whatever, the mini bar, the milk bar or whatever, and she like takes photos. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is awful. And so like in that way, just kind of seeing it play out, the empathy like worked it really well, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't. It deals with the subject kind of tastefully, I guess. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like most movies don't really. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a good movie for that. Like, you see the kind of small things that happen to his life at the start, and you get to empathize with him, like what he has to go with, like that way. It isn't overly done or anything, but
No.
but you can still like feel that this is like a big, obviously a problem to him, and yeah,
Yeah.
Is
That
it?
it weighs over him all the time.
yeah,
It wasn't entirely, but like it kind of felt odd to me to see this attitude of like on screen so much because like the fact that like people, like it's like the trope about like people make fun of dwarves, little people, whatever. It seems like such a film thing, and like but like it was the way it was done in this film felt so real, and like it seemed really odd to see it reflected on like in such a real way. Because, like, I mean, this is, 17 years later that we're talking about, but I feel like that's like this whole thing about, like, like being amused at little people and, like, like taking pictures. Like, I feel like that's such an outdated thing, although it was only, less than 20 years ago,
Yeah, totally.
And I think Peter Dinklage is honestly a big part of that. I mean, by playing Tyrion in Game of Thrones and just.
yeah.
Because, like.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great point. Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be, an injustice to not credit him in some respect for it. I know, I very much like to think that, I'd never be an arsehole or anything like that. But I can say for certain that, his role in Game of Thrones totally granted me an extra perspective, I think, of just like, wow, I'm actually seeing, a mainstream actor of who he is physically. That's awesome. And obviously he's awesome. So, no, totally. I think that's definitely a great point.
Because, like, you've got, like, other, like, you got, like, Warwick Davis and Vern Troyer and Kenny Baker, but they were always in costume and stuff. So, like, it was never really normalized by them, but, like, Peter was, like, like, that was just Peter,
Definitely, because those other names that you mentioned, they're it feels like they're in the position they're in because, they're little people, but at the same time, the positions they're in are always, like in costumes, hiding in robots, things that only someone of their stature can do, as opposed to Peter Dinklage is just a total star, like a mainstream actor. Like he was top billed on Game of Thrones for seasons. Yeah, absolutely. But no, I do think this movie handles all that tastefully for the most part. Like, when we get the scene of the the kind of, I don't know, traditional, what would you call them, like hillbilly dudes, just dickhead dudes, whatever, like yelling at him and shit. I'm like, okay, that's real cringe. That's real bad. But it's not unrealistic. Like it's just the fact that I'm witnessing that occur that I find it uncomfortable. It's not necessarily an unrealistic thing, even though it's, God, I hope that doesn't happen too much. But yeah, it never felt over the top necessarily. That's as close as it got. And then I also appreciate how there isn't doesn't feel like there's any sort of real resolution to it. It doesn't feel like there's any character in the movie who, I hate Peter Dinklage because he's a dwarf, at the start, and then at the end they become best buddies, and then he admits that he's wrong and all that archetypal stuff. That never really happens, where you just get the whole prejudice angle, and we get smaller moments of people kind of recognizing him, like when he goes and speaks at the school. It was kind of a touching little moment, I thought, when the kids ask questions to him that's not just about who he is physically. So we kind of get, subtler moments, smaller moments like that contribute to the whole thing, to the whole message, I guess. It's kind of hard to talk about this movie, isn't it? I feel like anyone who's seen it just knows, it was cute. It was cool.
It's also kind of an acting movie in a way. Like the performances are kind of the main thing, I guess.
Probably.
In terms of what makes a movie good, I guess.
I think so. I mean, I really liked Bobby Cannavale, I think is his name, who played Joe in the movie. I really liked him.
Yeah.
Even though, like, as the synopsis mentioned, he was like chatterbox. So wanted to just talk it up so hard at the start, and I was like, okay, this is a little weird, honestly. He's a bit much, but he was really likable. I really enjoyed him.
Yeah.
And we keep calling him Peter. His name's Finn. So him and Finn's relationship, I really liked that grow and the ups and downs and all that. Although, actually, sorry, I should say, like, Joe's the owner of this hot dog stand. What is up with where his hot dog stand is placed in this town?
Yeah.
Such a weird spot.
Yeah, it's like, probably it's like 2 customers a day there. Like, it's a strange place, but...
Yeah, but it's his dad's van. It's his dad's van, so he probably set it up there when, like, the station was still in use and where people would just come in and out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's probably just, like, stuck there for tradition.
Yeah, you're right. That would be it. That makes total sense. I would have, and this is a very minor complaint, but I would have appreciated a line about that. Just him clarifying that, just because of how jarring that was for me as the audience member, like seeing this hot dog stand set up literally on the outskirts of a town was very strange. So if he'd just like kind of thrown a line out there at one point, I would have totally bought it. But nonetheless, no, that's totally would be it. Makes sense.
I really like the relationship that Joe has with his dad as well. I mean, like, it's an interesting one, and like it's we only see one side of it. But, it's obvious that he's caring and he loves him. But, he still gets frustrated with him as people, do when someone is under like constant care like that. Sometimes you will get a bit frustrated. So I thought that was a nice little portrayal of that type of thing.
Definitely. It's a credit to the movie that relationship that he has with his dad feels 3-dimensional. Even though we never even meet his dad, we never see him whatsoever.
Never even hear him.
Scenes of him. Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. Yeah, we just hear Joe talking to him over the phone, and that's it. Guess that's a credit to the actor as well. Yeah, absolutely. But the third wheel, if you will, of this dynamic is Olivia, and she was okay. I don't know. I definitely didn't buy into her as much as the other two. Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like she lost her son, which is obviously, pretty trash. She's got issues with her husband. The husband stuff felt a bit, I don't know. It went on a little long for me. I was like, okay, we get like 5 scenes of her husband trying to call her, and she just doesn't want to answer, and that never really changes. So that was kind of okay, I guess. But how did her son die again? Did she say something about monkey bars? I was confused when she said something about that.
He fell off the monkey bars.
He fell off the monkey bars. Like, he was just like regularly sized monkey bars.
Yeah. I mean, I guess for a kid, that's small if he falls on his head or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's happened many times.
Oh, I'm sure it has, yeah.
Yeah, it did sound weird, like, hearing that, but, I mean, it happened, I guess.
It felt like a realistic way to do it, though. Because, I mean, like, usually, like, when there's a child death in the film, it's like, oh, he was wandering somewhere, he drowned, or something. It's usually something very tragic. Whereas this is, well, like, it's very mundane, it's just very normal, they're at a playground, and it just happened like that. And that's it makes it more real, it makes it more impactful.
Yeah, I was expecting, some disease or something. I wasn't. That's fine. That's cool. But yeah, I'm with Fitzy where, like, my initial reaction just to her saying it was like, what? Did you say monkey bars? Like the fact I had to question what she said was just kind of took me out of it for a second. Did you say he fell off monkey bars? But yeah, no, I guess you're right. If you fall the wrong way, yeah. Her performance was okay, I guess. I guess she just felt like the most standard character in the entire thing. You know, it's tragic what occurs to her and all that, but at the end of the day, you know, traumatized as a result of those events, still upset, not really willing to reach out to other people. You know, every time she told Peter Dinklage to piss off, I was a bit pissed off at her. You know, that kind of thing. But compared to the Joey dynamic, who's kind of a charismatic figure in the movie, and compared to the unique perspective that Finn provides, she kind of felt a bit standard in comparison, maybe.
I can see that. I guess she had the kind of grief angle though. Like the other two. Oh no, I mean Finn has the grief, but as well. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I think it's more of a normal role, but I think it's an important one to. I mean, just to assist that whole dynamic between the three of them. You know, to see the way that her relationship develops with them and how it crumbles when the husband comes in, and then how they revitalize it at the end. You know, I like it is a bit more boring compared to the strifes of the other two, or just the character like the characteristic of the other two, but it's necessary.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Did you guys like her performance?
Yeah, I thought she was fine.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thought her character was a little goofy with the car thing that happened like twice, and she like.
Oh, that was
whole
goofy.
thing.
Oh, dude, the second time it happened, I laughed. Like I don't care how stupid it was. Like that, like the second time it happened, like that's just funny. I mean,
I had like an eye roll laugh. You know,
yeah.
like, oh, really? We're doing this? Yeah. It was very goofy.
I also really liked. Well, I liked the opening, the stuff that happened at the start, just with the train, like the one scene we got the train club and him working at the store. But also, Michelle Williams, I think her name is. She played the teenage role. I thought she was really great in it. Like she kind of slurred her words a bit, which I felt was kind of like something you don't usually see. Like actors usually pronounce things really well, but like she's this kind of just average teenage character, and it's kind of realistic for her to have that. I guess.
Yeah.
She just felt very
Yeah, I liked her too.
kind of real, I guess.
Yeah, a bit of authenticity there. I agree. She's kind of a smaller part in the movie, I guess, but I don't know. Like, strangely, I kind of bought her and Finn's relationship a little bit there. I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. I like this.
Mm.
It was weird when she like commented on his chin, and I was like, okay, this is awkward. But no, it was cool. I liked it. She had that ding dong of a boyfriend. So fair enough. You want to go and hang out at the train station.
I like how all the relationships in the film developed. They all felt very natural, like whether it be him and Joe or him and Olivia, was that her name? Yeah, or Michelle Williams' character, and even the little girl. I mean, like the way they all developed, it was all just you just start talking, and eventually along the line you just become closer, and like just like with everything else, it just felt very real.
That's very true. That's very true. I especially felt that with that little girl character. Definitely. I guess, I don't know if this applies to Bobby as much, but if we're taking the three central characters and their friendship kind of as the through line of the movie, I guess it's kind of about these, three very different personalities with very different life experiences kind of just forming an unlikely bond or friendship. Sounds pretty standard when I say it like that, but I feel like that's the through line. The movie is very subtle, the ending's very subtle, and we'll get into that, I guess. But because it does feel like all these three kind of run into each other. They all become friends, then they split apart for various reasons, and then they come back together in the end. Pretty standard arc in that way. So yeah, if that's the story they're going for, I think it was pretty effective. May as well do it now, I guess. Then, what about? Did you guys like the ending? Because the cut to credits to me was a bit jarring, very deliberate.
I thought it was pretty good. Like, I don't know, it wasn't. It felt kind of sudden, but then again, it's not. There's no big drama, so it kind of makes sense. I thought
Yeah,
it
that's
was
true.
like okay.
No, I think it rounded off the film really well, like where it ended just there. I mean, because like it's kind of mid conversation. It ends like with them like talking about blimps, right?
Yeah. He asks, when
Yeah.
we're blimps
So
and
like,
wonders.
yeah, the fact that it like kind of ends within the middle of an interaction, it kind of adds to that realism for me. You know, like they're just there hanging out, and you know, there's this kind of like final little comment, and we kind of see, you know, the bonds are being reconnected, and then like that's all they want to tell us, that's all they want to show us, so it just ends there. You know.
Yeah, I think him asking the question is important as well because like usually he's not the first one to talk in the movie, and that's one
Yeah,
of the
good point.
first times in the end where he actually initiates a conversation and like I think that was like very symbolically good.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess in retrospect, and talking about it now, I actually like it more because that is a good point. It does feel like something the movie would do based on everything we've watched prior to that point. And not, in the moment, not that I was expecting any crazy scene or crazy moment or big emotional beat necessarily, but just the fact that it was literally mid dialogue, mid any other scene that, we've seen so many conversations between the three characters in the entire movie. It was like, felt like any one of them just being cut dead in the middle, roll credits. It stood out to me in the moment, but I'm not gonna lie, you've made me. It's grown on me a little bit. I guess in the theme of you know characters coming together, friendships being formed, and all that shit. Here's a bit of trivia, which is a parallel that I think was really cool to read about. But Saint Finbar, who lived from 550 to 620 AD, was a religious hermit. He founded a remote monastery that attracted so many people it eventually became the Irish city of Cork. So, very deliberate, I guess. And that to me, just reading that afterwards, kind of thematically rounded out the entire story in a way that I really liked. Where I was like, oh wow, okay, this dude who is kind of ridiculed by society or is, faces prejudice and terrible shit that he lives with all the time, kind of seeks a life of isolation, but we're social beings and all that. We can't get away from that. We can't get away from other people and the interactions we make and the friendships we make and all that. So I don't know. I thought it was kind of a cool key theme of the story. Connection is good. Friendship is good.
What was the budget for this, Zach? I'm very curious.
The budget, Fitzy. Wow, it's so amazing you asked. Was estimated to be $500,000.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it feels like a film that was made on that. Yeah.
Totally. But it never stood out to me at all. I think
No.
they
Yeah.
they wisely, the setting of this kind of semi-rural New Jersey area, there was just a handful of sets, I guess, used. There was like, we had a few locations we kind of stuck with for the most part. But we always bounced around between them enough that it felt like the movie was constantly moving. I never felt like they were really restricted set-wise by the budget they had. Because I feel like often, I personally associate smaller budgets with, wow, this feels really small, really confined. But the movie moved well enough into different, I don't know, just between scenes that it never really stood out to me at all.
I think the locations they shot were really that they chose were really great too. I mean, like
Yeah.
between like the lone station and the bridge where he sits and watches trains
yeah.
and Olivia's house is also really nice, and just like like the and the rest, like just like small stuff like the carriage and like what else, the fact that they're actually like good locations also assists in that fact.
Definitely. It kind of, the movie's well shot to where every time we're introduced to one of those new spots, and there's that handful of them, that whenever we kind of cut between them, you just know immediately where you are. Oh yeah, he's at the spot where he watches the trains now. He's at the house, Olivia's house. We spent a lot of time at Olivia's house too. We kind of got to know that little area quite well, I think. But yeah, I agree. On the lines of budget, though, the movie made $8.7 million worldwide. So hey, whoever funded this project made a bit of bank. Good for them. Probably didn't have to spend much on marketing at all either, I would imagine.
I love like talking about marketing, I love the tagline for this film where it's like, it's better to be alone when you're with people, and I mean, like, it's such a fantastic way to like just advertise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I did not know that was the tagline. I'm glad you brought that up. Totally. That's great. Good choice. Totally sums up the movie for me and everything I mentioned about good old Saint Finbar.
how'd you feel that the character was called Finn and you're Finn?
Well, it was only one N though, I think, right? So,
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. Feel a bit cheated, a little bit.
Shame. I thought it was really weird that he walked from his place in New Jersey all the way out to Newfoundland. Because I mean, like, that doesn't seem like a short walk. I mean, like, I get he likes walking the right away, and the movie makes a point of that. But I mean, you know, it's a bit of a journey.
I found that weird too, to the point where I looked it up. I was like, hang on, how far did he really walk here? And I mean, I'm no expert on distance and shit, but I mean, it was definitely pretty far. But I feel like he could have done it in a day. What I could see.
What's the distance? Do you remember?
God, no, I can't remember. I just like saw it on the map or whatever, just in the proportions of the state, and I was like, okay. It wasn't so crazy that I couldn't buy it. I was like, okay, no, that's fine. I was reassured by what I saw.
Okay. I mean, like, yeah,
You're right.
like, I didn't doubt the fact that he could. I don't doubt the fact that he could have done it. I just thought it was weird that, you know, as a train enthusiast, he didn't catch a train.
That's true. For someone who loves trains, he doesn't really catch trains, does he?
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about that side of the movie, really. Fitzy mentioned the whole start, which, God, it's easy to kind of forget the start. Hanging out at the train clubs and shit. I thought that was kind of an interesting way to... Because obviously, you know, being into trains, watching trains, analysing trains is a very niche interest or hobby, I would have thought.
Did you say niche?
Yeah? What do you say?
Niche?
Niche.
Oh, no, this is like the timeless debate, though, isn't it?
Oh, it's not. I mean, it's niche. It's fucking French, mate. It's niche.
I don't think niche is a proper way to say it.
Oh, okay, mate. No, you're probably right. I've got no idea. I've just always said niche. My apologies. Well,
Fucking
I'm
change.
not going to change now.
You should, because it's culturally inappropriate.
Okay, will the French hang me?
No, I haven't done that in a while.
Anyway, a niche. God, I'm actually going to have to consciously think about that every time now a little bit, I think. It's in my DNA at this point. But anyway, bit of a niche kind of hobby, rather, sorry. God, now you've completely derailed me, guys. Get it? Derailed me?
Oh, wow. Quite the jokester.
Yeah, anyway. But I don't know, I thought that was kind of cool to get insight into that a little bit, because I was like, wow, people like this? They're crazy. But I don't know. Yeah, I appreciated that perspective. And it kind of complements how Finn is a bit of a, you know, obviously physically different, physically sort of an outcast, I guess. And he is kind of in his interests as well. I thought that kind of complemented that nicely. And Joe kind of coming along with the ride, learning about the trains as well. Them shooting the film was a nice touching moment.
I mean, the train hobby isn't exactly like a small thing. I mean, it's pretty popular, isn't it?
Oh, no, I'm sure it is. I just mean, like, you know, I'm sure it's still a fair minority amongst society.
Yeah. I just had a look. It's about 226 Ks that he walked.
Oh.
What? You sure?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Which you can do about in, like, I don't know, 10, 12 hours. Actually, no. Probably more than that. I don't know.
Wait, how much is it? 26?
226 Ks.
226.
How long do you reckon it take you to that? Actually, that's a fair distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of days, do you reckon?
Hold on, that's here to Melbourne. 1, 2, 3. That's here to Melbourne like 3 times. No.
Oh, yeah.
Twice, right?
So like Melbourne's 70 Ks, so I mean like up and back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's like it's 3 up. What am I saying? I'm fucking up. Yeah, it's a fair distance. We'll just say that, but I don't think it's unrealistic.
No.
Fucking.
How long will it take to walk to Melbourne, do you think?
Where did he start from?
New Jersey. I just typed in New Jersey to Newfoundland, so
It was like Jersey City area, wasn't it?
yeah,
Somewhere
and
in there anyway.
that's about where the map chucked me.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought he went to. I thought Newfoundland was a place in New Jersey.
It is.
Newfoundland's in Philadelphia, I think.
Oh, okay.
What?
He went from New Jersey.
No. Newfoundland was definitely in New Jersey when I looked it up on the map.
Really? Because it just told me there that Newfoundland was in Philadelphia.
There are multiple Newfoundlands.
Apparently, maybe I was looking at the wrong one. Because 226 k's is a fair
Yeah,
distance.
yeah. No, I think he was in New Jersey, Newfoundland.
Yeah.
And I think where was he originally? Was he in New Jersey at the start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't think he's working across America.
Yeah, no, he didn't walk south. He walked like anyway.
Hold on.
I feel like we're half committed to solving this now.
Oh shit! Hold on. No, that's further then.
So, hang on, you've got the Newfoundland. Are you now looking at the Newfoundland that's like, hang on,
That's up in like
west
near
of
New
where
York.
he was?
No, I'm looking at the one that's like up north.
No, the one I was looking at was definitely in it. It was like west.
Yeah,
of
that's
New York.
that's the first one I saw.
That wasn't in Philadelphia. Philadelphia's like, isn't that like south of New York?
Nah, Philadelphia is like it's south of New York, but it's north of. Hold on, wait, where's? Yeah, it's south of New York, but it's in line with New Jersey, and it depends on where he was in New Jersey. Because like if he was from like where did it say he was like actually from, like Hoboken or some shit?
Yeah, right. I think so. Yeah.
I think we're spending too much time on this. Let's just move on.
Probably. Oh yeah. Okay. Where do we draw the line? Should we quit?
I reckon we should quit.
Okay. Fine.
Let's just say a day.
That was riveting. Anyway, trivia for you, Jaden. The book that Joe reads
It is all
is
quiet on
All
West.
Quiet on. There you go. Yeah, you know it.
Yeah, no, I saw it in the film.
Oh yeah.
I was like, hey, trivia for you, Vinny. The film was
Ooh.
written for Peter Dinklage. Was it not?
It was.
Yeah, bang. I'm on top of it.
Yeah.
Because they were
Yeah.
mates, weren't they?
They were
Yeah.
friends.
The director.
And,
Peter Dinklage and the director, whatever his name was, Tom McCarthy.
He also did Spotlight.
He did. That's right. I looked at his IMDb and it was kind of weird. I saw that he did this movie, did a few other smaller things, then did Spotlight, like, Academy Award winning, and then just dropped off the face of the earth, sort of.
Well, before he did Spotlight, he did that Adam Sandler film, The Cobbler, which is even more insane to go from Sandler to Spotlight, Academy Award winning.
Apparently,
That's true.
that's a good Sandler movie though. Like one of his better ones.
Really, I just had a look at the at some of the reviews on Letterboxd, and like they tear it to pieces.
Oh really?
So yeah, what else is there to say about the movie? I don't know. We got
Oh no, it is a bad film. It's got 23 on Metacritic as well.
Oh okay.
there you go, Fitzy. It's objectively terrible now.
5.8 on IMDb though, so I mean, balance.
Damn. X-Men Origins Wolverine is like a 6.8 or something like that.
It's a good film.
Crazy.
6.7 yeah.
That's wild.
No, 6.6. Sorry. The Wolverine is 6.7.
Yeah. Wow.
It should be the other way around.
Anyway, what can we talk about this movie from a technical perspective? We mentioned how it's all competent, it's all great, it's all good, all that. I don't know. I like how it's shot. I like the setting. I wouldn't imagine there was a whole lot of production design outside of just location scouting.
Oh, the music was pretty good. Soundtrack was pretty
Good call. Yeah, it was. It was groovy.
little sounds. That, like I feel like there was. I can't exactly remember now, but there was a lot of like recurring, like sort of melodies, like sounds. It fit the tone really well. Although I can't remember the specific what it sounded like.
It did. I don't know if I could attempt to describe it. I don't know. It was like country, maybe? Not like country, but like... Oh, God. I'm already failing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It had like a rural America sort of feel, I guess.
Sure.
No weird edits, so I can't complain. Not that I noticed.
No odd fades and no like two cuts for one hug shit. No.
Two cuts for one hug should live on in cinema effect lore, I think, is just like
Wait,
prime example of weird editing.
What was that?
In The Five Bloods, there was a
I think there
two
was
cuts
two
for one hug.
There's two instances of it, wasn't there?
There was, yeah. I can't remember the other one.
I think like that and like you know that weird transition from Scorsese's The Departed, where like the camera, where like it blacks out and like into a circle on like that one character. Do you remember that?
Vaguely, yes.
Yeah.
That movie, yeah, I've talked about it with you before. That movie is weirdly edited. It's the only thing I don't like about it.
I mean, like they're two of the weird editing shit that like always sticks in my mind.
Yeah.
I feel like the editing in The Departed is like really intentional, though, isn't it? Like,
I'm sure it is. I don't. Yeah. But it didn't work for me when I watched it.
okay.
It felt jarring.
It's the chick that always does Scorsese films, isn't it? Thelma Shoemaker.
Yeah, probably.
Well, that's the weird thing. Like her editing prior to The Departed and in any other Scorsese movie I've seen, presuming that they were all her, or at least some of them were her, they'd never stuck out to me before. So clearly, that supports the idea that they deliberately tried something with The Departed that was different.
But
anyway, this isn't about The Departed.
I'd love to live in a little station, which is I mean, I reckon I'd be happy in that. Don't you reckon?
Would you?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty sick. I mean, like aesthetically, like I'd cop that.
Yeah, but he hasn't got a bed.
Well, yeah, he hasn't renovated yet. But I mean, like once you redo that shit, I reckon you can really cool like a Art Deco theme going in the. He's already got that poster of the Zephyr on the wall that really fits it. I reckon you can do that up nicely.
So you'd be a fan once it's renovated, not like in the state it's in. Would you be content?
Well, no, but like I'd purchase it and I'd renovate it from that state. But yeah, no, I wouldn't live in that state that it is.
Got it. Because I agree with you. Then I'd be down.
And plus, he's got that carriage out back that he can use for like I don't know, an extra room or some shit that he wants to do, like a detached garage or I don't know whatever he wants to fucking do with it.
Right. Is this a renovation podcast?
I'm down to talk renos.
Oh yeah, for sure. Are we just avoiding the fact that we got nothing else to talk about with the movie at this point?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. No point dragging it on, I guess. Are you done, Fitzy?
Yeah.
Out of 10. You guys have swayed me in a positive direction on this. I was leaning towards a 6 just because I was like, it was decent. I liked it, all those subtleties and charming little watch, I guess. But I don't know, you've swayed me to a 7. I did really like this movie. I think it's really good. I enjoyed it a lot.
I'll give it a 7 as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm similar to you where I was gonna give it a 7, but like just like through the discussion, I realized like me just talking about it alone, like I liked it more than I thought I did. So
awesome.
Yeah, so yeah, 8.
Very good. Now it's time for the Seinfeld music that I can't be bothered putting in, but pretend it was right there. News chat. Guys, we've got a ton of DC shit to talk about apparently. Because get hyped. We had the DC FanDome occur last weekend in place of any in lieu of any Comic Cons of any sort, any Comic Con panels. So they decided to chuck this event instead. I must say, the live stream, weird CG green screening panel setups they had going on, wasn't really a fan of it. Weird choice for the way they kind of put it together. It was kind of strange. But anyway, who cares? Let's actually talk about what they showed at this live stream. Going down the list, all right? Let's start with least interesting and kind of work our way to most interesting. Wonder Woman 1984 trailer. Did either of you guys see this?
Yeah, I did look at it.
Yeah, I thought it was already a movie. Like, I thought this was already existed. Cause
I thought it was out.
Yeah, I thought it was the second movie, and it was already out. I thought the third one was coming. But
no.
Because, like,
That's awesome.
I only saw a bit of the Wonder Woman movie, like, at my aunt's house or something. So I've never actually seen the first one. But.
Yeah, I haven't seen 2 to 1983, so I don't know what's going to happen in this one, but I'm keen for it.
But hey, hang on. But you saw the trailer, Fitzy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of knew what. I think I know stuff that happened in the first one.
Oh, I mean, I don't really. I don't know if there's much of spoilers in that, to be honest, but from memory.
Christopher talks it.
He does. Shit, yeah, you're right. See, that's actually the thing, because, people talking about how's Chris Pine back in this movie. in my head, the whole time I was thinking, oh, they just mean like how's he in 1984 when he should be like 1,000 years old at this point. But I forgot he actually died. Spoilers.
Yeah, that's the thing that I knew he like went off in an airplane that was like had toxic. I don't know. The
Oh
toxicity
wow,
or
that's
something.
right. Yeah,
So
that did happen.
maybe he's like a fake Chris Pine.
You can't fake Chris Pine though. Chris Pine's great.
Well, you see, so Wonder Woman was made of clay and then brought to life by, like, Greek gods or some shit, right? Now, the Themyscians knew how much Chris Pine meant to Wonder Woman, so they made a new Chris Pine out of clay and brought him to life.
Maybe. I don't know.
No, it's plausible that he's fake. That's my theory. Okay, he won't be the real deal. He'll be a fake with the enemy. It'll be like Batman vs Superman, and Cheater and Wonder Woman will team up against Chris Pine.
My personal theory is that there's going to be some bullshit excuse that they brush over and no one cares.
Yeah, probably.
But as to this movie, as to this trailer, like, I don't know, I didn't really like the first one very much. It was okay. But I'm digging everything about this, you know. I'm liking the 80s aesthetic, liking all the colours, the vibrancy they're going with in the motion graphics, in the poster and all that. I like that a lot. I mean, Gal Gadot's cool as Wonder Woman. I got no complaints. Chris Pine's cool, you know, get him back. You get Pedro Pascal in there. Can't complain. As someone who's not a Wonder Woman fan, though, Cheetah just looks like such a weird villain. Like, she looks like, in the trailer towards the end there when she shows up, she looks like straight out of Cats to me, which is not a good thing at all.
That'll just make it more entertaining, though. So
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, the Judi Dench cat also rocks up and, you know.
Yeah, she's got a wedding ring on.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Cheetah's CG was just kind of weird. I was like, I don't really buy this. But I don't know. We'll see. Everyone knows, you know, I've got no interest in watching this movie really, but I probably will see it because I'm weak. Next up, we got The Suicide Squad. This is James Gunn's reboot thing, sequel, sort of Suicide Squad. Did any of you guys see they did like a behind-the-scenes character reveal spiel for it?
Like the, just like, it was like graphics were like, you know, announcing their names and shit. Is that what you're talking about?
That, and they also had like tons of behind-the-scenes footage that they, with interviews and shit. It felt, honestly, to me, very close to a first trailer.
Nah, I haven't seen that one then. I've only seen the teaser with like the names.
Yeah, I watched the name thing, but then I also watched a bit of that. I just wanted to listen to Idris Elba, his voice.
Oh yeah,
He
I
has
feel
such
that.
a hunky, you know, sexy voice.
Is his
Sure.
accent American or British?
Oh no, but
He's British,
in the trailer, no, in the behind the scenes, it was like an interview with him, really, like he's just doing his voice. Yeah,
it was just like 3 seconds as well, but
it was great. I think he said in it.
yeah.
He said something like that. I laughed. Anyway, whatever.
I can't believe he's British. Like, he is like so good in the Wire. As a
Yank.
Dude from Baltimore.
guy from Baltimore. Kind of sounds like Boston Tony or something.
He's great. But okay, so you guys saw the character reveal thing. I mean, the character reveal thing, like, you know, that was cool. I liked that. There's so many characters in this movie. Holy shit!
Isn't like a roster of 17 villains or something?
The cast is insane. It's off the charts.
I'm high for Peter Capaldi though. I'll get behind him.
Yeah, he was the Doctor, right?
Yeah, I had no idea he was in this until I saw that, and I was like, oh, epic.
And the fact that there's still more names than what were in that, because like Taika's character wasn't even in that thing, which is wild. So no, that was cool. I liked that a lot. But for me, you know, I was still like, okay, like Suicide Squad have burned me a little hard here. You know, I can't say I'm that interested. But in the actual behind the scenes thing, I honestly recommend you guys check it out. It's like 2 minutes long. Get a ton of footage of shooting on set, interviews, and James Gunn talking about the movie, and totally nailed it. Got me on a huge 180 where, dude, I'm so in on this movie now, and I never would have thought they'd be able to do this, where everything I saw of it was so interesting, so visually appealing. James Gunn talked about how it's essentially a 70s war movie, and and he said something like, don't get too attached to these characters. Dude, so many of these characters are going to die. And just from what I saw visually, I'm all in. It looked sick, and I can't believe I'm saying that.
I mean, if you approach it more of as more of a James Gunn fan rather than as a Suicide Squad fan, I think you're going in safer.
Definitely.
Because if you're coming back off the back of the Guardians films and whatever else he's done, I think probably a better way to look at it as instead of like a Suicide Squad sequel.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, think of it as a James Gunn war movie with a ridiculous amount of characters. Hell yeah.
I hope like 16 of them are killed off in like 2 minutes.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised. The way he was talking about it was like, seemed like, dude, there's going to be a lot of deaths in this movie. That'd be awesome. Yeah, they all just get blown up or something. There goes John Cena.
Oh yeah, he's in it too, isn't he?
He is. All right. Next up, we got the Snyder Cut.
No.
Oh, sorry, Jaden. I spoke over you.
I thought Black Adam would be next because you were going from least exciting to most exciting.
Oh, Black Adam would be like -8.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't have it down. We can talk. Like, I had just trailers down, like things we could actually watch. I mean, no, Black Adam did have that animated thing.
Yeah. And I heard The Rock talking over it.
We can talk about that if you like, because I know Black Adam's been a thing long in creation. The Rock's always stuck by that. That's the superhero thing he's going to be doing for years.
I mean, there's not much to talk about other than just a little bit. It was an animated backstory, pretty much.
Yeah, linked to Shazam, I guess. Maybe.
I mean, it seems odd because the trailer for Black Adam seems very, it seems very contradictory to what Shazam was going for. So whether they do blend the two together.
Sticking on the lines, we may as well bring it up now. Panel wise, nothing we saw really, but they did confirm in relation to last week's conversation that the Flash movie is. They didn't say Flashpoint, I don't believe. Like it is. They didn't say it is Flashpoint, but the screenwriter talked about how she read Flashpoint and it's a huge inspiration or something, and then they also said it's a time travel story. So I think it's pretty clear that it's basically Flashpoint. Cool. So yeah, confirmation from last week. Anyway, Snyder Cut. This trailer we got here for the HBO Max mini-series, I guess. This trailer did nothing for me whatsoever, but I think we got different views on this. I don't know. How did you feel about it?
I couldn't care for it either. It just looked like more of the same shit, but longer and more boring.
I agree with you totally, but
no.
Sorry, Fitzy, you were you tried to jump in, but sorry.
It was a good trailer. I don't think it'll be the best thing of all time, but I think it'll, if it's feels more like a Zack Snyder movie, and it's more because one of the things with Justice League was it felt like a lot of different tones or different directors or different movies kind of.
Right.
But if it's just 4 hours of Zack Snyder, then I think at least it will feel a bit consistent-ish. And I feel like the trailer really was trying to tell us that with all the the slow-mos and also I feel like the new footage as well was a lot better, the new CGI.
Dude, Darkseid looks like ass.
Dude, the CG characters look terrible.
I'm not sure whether there's still the final look. How they sometimes
maybe.
The guy
Darkseid looked like shit.
Okay, but the guy who was the villain in I don't know his name, but
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf, yeah, he was way more
he did look better in this one though.
Yeah,
really?
He was way more
he looked
polished. Cool. The CGI was actually really good, and his armor, which moved around, and was really cool.
But from what I was seeing from this, right, he looked different, but he didn't look better. He just looked like he in the past movie he was a silver dude with weird armor, and now he just looks like a slightly different silver dude with armor.
Yeah, but I think he looks cooler.
Does he?
Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly can't. I need a comparison.
Yeah, I don't think if you compare them side by side, it's pretty clear the difference. But I get watching the trailer and not seeing a huge amount of difference. But right. I still do think it looks better. And I thought Darkseid looked cool personally. But whatever.
Okay. It's just the colors to me, but I guess that is a real Zack Snyder thing, isn't it? Just it's just so grey and I'm someone who hasn't really complained about that for his past movies, but this was going hard on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that down to just not to it not being the final footage. As to I reckon they're probably still gonna grade it a bit more and change.
That's fair.
Maybe.
I think that they were probably just pressured to release something to keep like the interest in the project up. So they just slapped a bunch of stuff together, finished and unfinished.
Yeah. But I mean, I totally agree with you, Fitzy. Like, at the very least, this movie's going to. I can guarantee you, it's going to be consistent. For better or worse, I don't know if I'm going to like it, but it's going to feel like one person's vision at the very least. It's going to be double the length of the theatrical Justice League, which is crazy. So I mean, at the very least, I can't complain about that. So I'm happy about that. But this trailer's had so many, and obviously not that I expect the movie to be totally revamped. This trailer's had so many like points where you can clearly see where that's meant to be in the first movie. I'm like, oh great, okay. This story is just totally the same thing. Like, I don't know. We've got the same Aquaman introduction.
I actually did a good like 9 minute breakdown of like the big differences that we know from so far.
Are they mainly related to the villain, like Darkseid and shit? And there's something like I saw a black box in there. Is that mainly where the differences seem to be?
Like there's shit like that. The Russian family's completely written out. There's a
I
confrontation
forgot about that.
like the Justice League and Superman when he first gets reawakened, and like they're like I think it's a good little detailed like explanation of what's going to be different that we know.
Right.
Wait,
I
what?
forgot about the Russian family.
Yeah. What is that?
What the Russian
In the
Russian family thing.
you know
in
how,
the original movie, there was this like subplot, I guess, with this Russian family, like hanging out where like the third act took place in Russia, I guess. I don't know.
All right.
And
Yeah.
the Superman saves them or something.
the Flash saves like the specific Russian family, but then we see that Superman lifts like an entire building of Russians to save.
Oh, that's right. Oh my god, I haven't even said what I hate most about this yet. Dude, the aspect ratio. What the hell is this shit? I freaking hate it.
You know,
You know how the trailer was in a box ratio? Like a 1950s aspect ratio?
oh yeah.
Dude, I thought that was some bullshit because the trailer came up for me on the DC FanDome live stream and it started and it's just a box. And I was like, weird, okay. It's like, I assumed it was a live stream error where they were playing like the Twitter version accidentally or something. And I was like, oh, that's fine, whatever. And then afterwards, it comes out in the press release that the entire thing is going to be in a box aspect ratio.
It's going to be in European widescreen.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought they said it's going to be in that aspect ratio.
No, it's in European widescreen.
Okay, so why is the trailer in this? Because I definitely... Okay, weird. Okay, I'm sorry, I was conflating things then. So I saw that it's going to be in a specific aspect ratio and then I assumed it was the box.
No.
Why did they play the trailer in the box then?
I reckon I'm going to chalk it down to being unfinished as well.
Possibly. Okay, I apologise. I went hard on that.
Like,
so hang on. So what's the big deal about European widescreen?
you see more of the top and more of the bottom, pretty much. Like the length is the same, but like the height of the screen is a bit more.
Okay, but it's widescreen.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
box. Okay.
No.
All right. Never mind. 10 out of 10 trailer then.
Like when he started going on about the aspect ratio, I was like, "Geez, what the fuck do you have?" Yeah, it's like European widescreen. I was like, "Fuck."
I just thought it was so weird that every version of the trailer is that box. But anyway, it's all good. It's all good now. I'm calm.
The Batman.
All right. Yeah. Save the best to last, of course. The Batman trailer. And, I mean, dude, this was unbelievable. Absolutely loved it. But, how'd you guys feel about it?
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I've been on board with this project from the start. I mean, I love Matt Reeves. I think casting Robert Pattinson as Batman, I thought that was brilliant from the beginning. And just seeing it come together in this film, seeing the Batmobile, seeing Robert's take on Batman and as Bruce Wayne as well, just getting this, the general feel. I thought that was a great trailer. I mean, like, I always had faith in the project, but this pretty much just confirmed everything.
Definitely. This, I've watched the trailer too many times. I think it's one of the best trailers I think I've ever seen. In terms of it completely sold me on the movie. I was in on the project too, but as someone who hasn't seen a Matt Reeves film, but like this trailer it blew me away. It exceeded all my expectations. The moment when he beats the shit out of the dude in one shot and says "I'm vengeance" is one of the best trailer scenes I've ever seen in my life, hands down. I was like, dude, this is we're just showing you this is what this movie is. And I was like, holy shit, I'm so in.
I love
I
that.
loved it so much.
I love that the take on the Batmobile is much more muted. You know, it's not this war tank
Oh yeah,
scene. I mean, I love the Tumbler from the Dark Knight, obviously, and I really do like Ben Affleck's as well. But the fact that this just looks like just a car with a fucking massive engine on the back.
oh yeah, totally. And I know, like obviously Nolan's films are meant to be super grounded too, but this feels like taking grounded to a whole new level, where the Riddler seems to be this Zodiac killer, which is awesome.
Paul Dano's in the film, right? As a Riddler.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, that's so good. I'm so excited for that. And Pattinson. That's like,
Oh yeah, it's gonna be so good. You know that you know the shot of the dude in the because I'm still confused about this. There was a shot of the dude in the trailer who looks like the Penguin,
Yeah,
but we know Colin Farrell is Penguin. Is that just insane prosthetics on him?
probably.
Because he was, if that is Colin Farrell, he was completely unrecognizable.
Didn't they chuck like a picture of him in like his cosmetics up on Instagram like a while ago?
Maybe, I don't know,
I think they did. I think like it was insane.
dude. Yeah, okay, that supports it. If that was Colin Farrell, it looks like couldn't even. I've seen the image and I was staring at it. And I'm like, I can't see a centimeter of Colin Farrell in this person.
bro, I don't remember seeing the Penguin. I need to rewatch it. That's cool.
Yeah, well, just look for the dude who like completely take Colin Farrell out of your mind because he looks nothing like him. Just look for a dude who you think would probably be the Penguin. He's like he pops up once. It's crazy.
I feel like Robert Pattinson would play the just the the millionaire billionaire playboy side of Bruce Wayne really well. If you look at his personality in like interviews in real life, he's just very like playful and kind of careless, I guess, and it kind of really contrasts like the idea of Batman. But so it'll be like I think it'll be good for that side of it, for the Bruce Wayne side of it. But also from the trailer, we've seen that I think he can also pull off that menacing kind of Batman side as well. So,
his Bat voice was top tier.
Yeah,
better than Bale.
Definitely. I mean, I love Bale. Don't get me wrong, but that I'm Vengeance was perfect.
What did the Riddler thing say? Because people already cracked what the thing was. I can't recall.
It was so. I can't even remember what he said anymore. It was something like about like he was here or something. I think I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. The Riddler for me on paper doesn't do anything for me. He's a guy who speaks riddles. Okay, it's kind of weird. And, I just think of Jim Carrey. I can't get Jim Carrey out of my head when I think of the Riddler, sort of, I guess. But seeing this take on him and about he seems to be some sort of like terrorist serial killer who leaves riddles at crime scenes. I'm like, yeah. Hell yeah.
Is it? I can just think of like the Riddler idea. It's like a troll. Yeah, like a troll,
right.
Criminal. I guess the Joker is that, but like more intellectual, more like clever. I don't know.
Did you watch Gotham, Fitzy?
No.
No, because we get we get to see Riddler in that.
Yeah.
Like
I did watch a bit of it. I remember the Penguin character, but that's about it. And Jerome.
So he jokes about the runtime being like 6 hours because he's trying to collect all like the Riddler trophies from the Arkham games.
Oh, that's good. That's a good joke. The more playboy side, I guess, of Bruce Wayne that I totally agree with you that I think good old Rob can pull off really well. We didn't really see that in this trailer, but we did see, him sort of damaged Bruce Wayne, I guess, like him seeming like we saw him kind of on the bike, he's like doing some kind of covert shit, it looked like. We saw him at in the aftermath of a few attacks and shit. I was like, wow, I'm buying into every version of Bruce Wayne I'm seeing right here. So I've got no doubt he's going to pull off the Playboy one great as well.
Who's Alfred in this one?
Andy Serkis.
Ah, it's interesting. And Bernard is Gordon, right?
Hell yeah, and bloody Zoe Kravitz is Catwoman.
Yeah,
this cast is nuts.
But
oh wow,
I'm down for Bernard as Gordon.
Oh yeah, totally. All right,
what's his name? Jeffrey.
I
should probably say his actual name.
Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah.
This is my most anticipated movie by far. I'm stoked.
Oh, this Batman. I thought you were going to say another one.
Oh, I thought I was going to transition. Sorry, no, I was just leaving on Batman.
Yeah, no, it was the best trailer. So
And the fact that they've only shot 30% of the movie.
Oh, really?
yeah, didn't they say they were going back now to the UK?
Yeah, they're shooting now again. Yeah.
Mm.
Let's get into our revamped what we've been watching. What's our highlight of the week? We each select one thing that we've liked a lot that we watched this week. And yeah, who wants to start this brand new segment that's totally not slightly different at all?
I watched a Michael Mann film called Miami Vice. Um, it, and it was really great. It's um, it's really like it really like goes all in on like the aesthetics, I guess. Like it's got like a really like 2000s like techno soundtrack, and it's like the photography digital. It's like very like digital photography. And I can see why some people would say it looks like weird or ugly, but like I think it looks really, really gorgeous, like really great. And it's just this kind of drug heist movie, but also kind of very Michael Mann in its themes of like just the classic stuff of like action and like the work and relationships and all that, and like how they intersect, kind of. And kind of, I think seeing other Michael Mann films kind of adds to it because I kind of know like more what he's going for. I think if I just saw this like without seeing any Michael Mann, I just think, oh wow, this is really kind of, why is this kind of romance here? It's kind of cheesy and stuff. Although the romance in the film is like really amazing. Like it's one of the most romantic films I've like ever watched, just in terms of like how it gets that feeling across. I mean that's highly subjective, I know, but like it just really worked for me, I guess. And it's yeah, it's really underrated as well. Although I see why some people would not like it, I guess. Like it's one of those movies that's very like, yeah, you could either love it or hate it kind of thing, I guess. Because it just kind of goes all out for what it is. It's kind of hard to explain what it is, but like if you watch the trailer, you kind of get it. It's very it just goes for a very like cool kind of atmosphere and very it's its own kind of unique thing. But no, yeah, really, uh, yeah, I really loved it. It's probably my favorite man. So yeah.
I'm really glad you liked it. I saw on the letterboxd, like scores seemed all over the place, like really sparse and kind of random in a way I'd really kind of rarely see.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like the phenomenon of this movie is kind of weird in terms of like in terms of all that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I guess I'll talk about Harry Potter, to round it off.
Sure.
Deathly Hallows Part 2. Yeah, I don't I mean, like, it's great. I'll start with that, but it's got it's got its share of problems, and I think a lot of it does come from what you said last week about it being such a race to the end, and the fact that it is just action to action to action to action. There's not really enough breathing space in between. Like every time I watch it, I always forget. I mean, like this would be like close to my 10th time watching it probably. I always forget how quickly things just do happen, because you go from the Gringotts heist to Hogsmeade for like a few minutes, and then you're at Hogwarts, the Snape confrontation, just protecting the school, that Horcrux, that fight, and then, it's done.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, this all takes place within, like, 2 hours, doesn't it? I mean, like, sorry, like, the runtime of the film is like 2 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty short.
Yeah. So, and I mean, like, the film itself is like, it takes place over, like, a day or two, probably. So I think just coming off the back of Deathly Hallows Part 1, which is so delicately paced and so brilliantly written, it's a shame that some of that didn't transition into this. Because I mean, like, this is a case of where a film would need more stuffing, and I think it does need to be longer. And the thing is, I mean, every other Harry Potter film is like 2 hours 20 to 2 hours 30 odd. So, I mean, had they extended, that extra 20 minutes, no one would have complained. And plus, it is the final film in the series. So people would have allowed for it to be that little bit longer as well, I feel, just to grasp onto it, to it that bit more. So I think the film suffers from just going too fast into every scenario, and they should have put more padding in between. I understand it's hard to do because, I guess these events do occur rather fast because, once Voldemort realizes they have, the Horcrux from Bellatrix as well, it all kind of just does, kick in motion, and it does have to be a race to the end. But there could have been time in between their encounters fleshing shit out more. And I mean, that's really where the book has it beat out, because I mean, it just fleshes the characters out far more than what, the film does. I mean, had they even had, prior to everything started, I mean, one of my favorite moments of the book is when they're at the seaside house and Lupin comes and asks Harry to be the Godfather. They could have added that before the film, before the action starts, just to really, just to pace it a bit more. And they could have added other similar things in between where, you just flesh out characters. So had they spent more time with Aberforth talking about Albus's past, because that's another thing the book does really well that the films kind of lack on. And had they spent more time with the kids in Hogwarts as they prepared, or had they focused on different characters during the battle rather than just the main trio, I think the film really could have benefited. But I still think it's it's still an 8 out of 10 film. I think it's a fitting conclusion. But I think had they added that bit more stuff into it, it would have been, it could have pushed it to the 9s and 10s, whatever,
Yeah.
Overall, do you like the books more, I guess?
Yeah, I think it's hard not to. Because, if you love the world of Harry Potter, I think it's obvious you're going to love the books so much more because you get to spend so much more time in them. But, I've always loved the films so much. And I think, in case, I think, I think the books are better than the films. Let's be honest here. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not one to really, I don't really want to say either or, but, I think the films, the books are just where it's at, And plus, because it's so different. I mean, the books, Dobby's death in the book is actually impactful because Dobby's he's a repeating character and is there quite often. He's featured in 4 rather prominently, and he pops up every now and then, and he's actually a help. Whereas in the films, he rocks up in 2, and then he rocks up in 7, and that's it, and he's just an annoying prick. So his death means nothing. But yeah. But I mean,
in that,
they're both brilliant, like books and films alike.
yeah, I don't think I could choose either. But dude, the Snape death and flashback we get with him in that last movie is top tier shit.
Oh,
I love it. Loved it so much rewatching it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that is one of the better moments when it does slow down from the action,
Yeah.
But the Gringotts heist is actually really good too. I like such an explosive first set piece, and it's a massive dragon breaking out of suburban London. I mean, is that suburban London? I don't know. Where is Diagon Alley located? I mean, yeah, it's probably about there.
Yeah, it's in London somewhere.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. My highlight of this week was, shockingly, us watching X-Men First Class.
Days of Future Past.
Oh, no, excuse me. Yes, thank you. Days of Future Past, that one. That X-Men movie that people like. And I was like, okay, I'm scared. I'm scared to watch this movie. But God, it was great. Oh, I'm so happy that I actually like an X-Men movie now. And I'm glad that I have a touchstone now for this franchise, that I can look back and go, I can rewatch that movie and really like it. Just really improved on everything I really have not liked at all about this series so far. Is just, some really shoddy action in past movies, some weird CG shit. Some of them are older, so it's acceptable, so whatever. But I've always found the characters so boring and uninteresting. But I think, obviously everyone knows James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender are so good, their chemistry is so good, and getting them kind of intermixed with the older cast with a story that actually feels impactful on a scale that I care about. That affects them both personally in the past, but also obviously has the grand repercussions for the future and all that shit. I don't know. I feel like the time travel element with Logan doing it, going through, injected something into the story of this series that I really needed. Made it feel actually like these are stakes that I care for right now. Yeah, no, really, really liked it, and I was surprised too. So I'm happy about that.
I think the Sentinels are a really menacing presence in the future as well. I mean, because like they're just there and they just tear through everything. I think the first action is like really great. The fact that we're so used to seeing the heroes just constantly win, and to see them just slaughtered in this first part, I mean, obviously it's all resolved rather quickly when we show what happens next, but it is a bit shocking.
Yeah. That opening action sequence was really good. I was like, wow, because so much of it had let me down so far that when I saw we jump in here and we knew obviously Ellen Page's character, but then there's a few other new characters, and I was like, oh great, more X-Men with useless powers. But they actually did some really cool shit, like the dude who was throwing out portals and like jumping out and shooting through them, and oh no, that was really cool. And like the Sentinels were kind of just CG villain number 87, but their design at least was like, oh, okay, they look unique. They have a unique feel. The way they like open their mouths and spewed shit out, I was like, this is actually feels a bit unique. So I really liked them for that as well. They were a cool threat. Very good. Very good. Okay. Question of the show. Last week we asked, what's your favourite title sequence in any film? Michael wrote in and said, Beneath Hill 60. Any memory of that film? I greatly appreciate you bringing it back to my forefront of my brain, Michael. God damn it. But you pointed out last night, Jan, that it actually does have a title sequence that's somewhat memorable. I had not remembered it at all.
I don't know. I mean, like it's pretty much nothing. But I mean, like seeing his comment, I know it was just a bit of shithousery, but I was there actually is something there. So I had a look, and like I mean, like as far as title sequence goes, it's fine. It's just it's just credits getting just like placed over like the bloke who I can't recall his name as he gets ready for his wedding and as he dresses and shit. And I mean, like it's perfectly serviceable. So I mean, like I know he did it a joke, but I mean,
Totally. But I appreciate the joke. Thank you, Michael. Henry said, Skyfall's title sequence is probably my favourite title sequence. Its use of really interesting and abstract imagery that ties in with the film's narrative is genuinely amazing, as well as Adele's fantastic vocal performance. Hell yeah, dude. Adele, flawless. It was probably my favourite part of the movie, to be honest. Well, I don't know about that, but it was definitely up there. It was great. Honourable mention goes to Monty Python and the Holy Grail's title sequence. However, with the Pythons... Wait, hang on, sorry. Oh, no, sorry, I'm sorry, I read that weird. Holy Grail's title sequence, however, with the Pythons somehow managing to crack jokes in a simple title crawl. That was good. I did like that a lot. Have you guys seen that movie?
Yeah.
No.
Like the way like the text flashes up and shit. I like
Yeah.
that.
I'm surprised you only gave it a 6. Actually, no, I'm surprised. No, I think
I'm not surprised. Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, it wasn't my highlight of the week, so I can't talk about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know that for me, it was just like that type of humor. Just I appreciate it. I totally understand why people really love it. It's just something that struggles personally to hold my attention for more than 20 minutes.
Yeah, I don't like Life of Brian, but I do really like Holy Grail. So I'm interested to see like if you were to watch the Life of Brian, whether you'd get behind that one more.
Is the kind of humor that I saw?
It's the same thing.
What they do?
Yeah, it's the same thing, but for some reason, like for me personally, I can't get behind Life of Brian. So I'm wondering, maybe it's the reverse thing for you.
I don't know if it's the same exact. Yeah, I haven't seen either, but I really liked Brazil.
Oh yeah, because that's Terry Gilliam, right?
Yeah.
Oh, is that like a newer one that he's done?
I don't think it. I think it's like 1980 or something. But like.
Oh, sorry. I just meant more recent. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's new, but like, it's different. It's not like the same kind of just fully comedy thing. It's like a. yeah, I mean it's its own kind of story as well. Like isn't I haven't seen them, but isn't Life of Brian and Monty Python more focused on the comedy as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah, it's all comedy, pretty much.
Right.
How do you not love Tim and when he just like rocks up blowing shit up?
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. They're cool.
Yeah.
Not funny. No. Okay.
No, it was alright. It was alright. Oh no, yeah. It just doesn't connect with me. I get it.
That's fair enough.
Luke says the opening sequences for all of the Star Wars films are nice. God, it's an understatement of the year. The music creates an atmosphere which is cool. I feel like every time he's going to use a stronger adjective and it just ends up being nice and cool. But it's fine. Like, it's informative, so that's a plus. That's very true. The opening to Juno is quirky as well, I guess. He also adds the opening sequence of The Incredibles. Please explain to those who are unaware why it is so amazing. Again, Luke taking advantage of the fact he knows I'm about to read it. So he's very clever. Thank you, Luke. I mean, the Incredibles. It's awesome. It's got that killer score, that killer like 1960 spy theme. You can't go wrong with that. But other than, that's obviously not all that makes a title sequence. You've got the awesome colors. I love the use of the orange and the blacks and the shadows of these characters. So good. And even like, I guess if you want to count the pre-title sequence where they're showing up like the studios, like the Walt Disney Presents, and we get the interviews with the characters, those are really tone setting as well. We get like the 1960s film grain on that. That's really cool as well. It gets you immersed in the time period. Very easy introduction to the characters, all that. But anyway, what's your guys' answer to title sequence? Favorite?
Into the Void. It's it's lit, bro.
Wow.
It's very fast and like colorful and just fits the tone of the movie really well. I'll probably,
This is the seizure-inducing one you showed us last night, right?
yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm sorry, did I cut you off? You were going to continue?
No. Well, I was just gonna say, I'll link it in the next video so people can see. But it's
Cool.
awesome.
Very nice, very nice. I mean, I've got Star Wars, obviously, because, and Casino Royale, kind of building off of Skyfall a little bit there. Not as good of a song as Adele's song, but I like the whole casino aesthetic. The motion graphics were pretty sick. Like shooting the cards or the playing cards rolling around. You got Lashif in there doing his thing, Mads Mikkelsen. I enjoy that. But what about you, Jaden?
Yeah, I mean, Skyfall is the easy pick, isn't it? I mean, like, it's just phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
But I wanted to, I don't know, pick something different, I guess. The Snatch title sequence is great. It's not really a title sequence because it introduces the characters rather than the actors, but it's still great. But I think my actual answer is going to be for David Fincher's Seven.
Oh, and I was gonna say.
I mean, like that's. I mean, like, rarely do like just like the title sequence alone inspire other things. Like I know, like I mean, it's really it's really crazy. I mean, like it's fear inducing. Like it's so fast and it's rough and it's like what is depicted and what is shown. I mean, like it's graphic and and like I think there's so many like unique props created only for that title sequence alone. So much effort went into it, and like I think it's a perfect preface for the film. I mean, like yeah, I think the Seven title sequence is fantastic.
I feel really bad. I can't remember it at all. I don't think.
Take a peek. Just search up on YouTube. You'll find it.
I'll do that right after. I need to be reminded. All right, cheers everyone for tuning into Cinema Effect this week. Fitzy, what is next week's film?
Next week's film is a another little indie film. Small budget, small director. Probably most people wouldn't have heard of it. Actually, that's probably true to be honest. Like outside of film people, most people wouldn't have heard of it. Probably wouldn't have. Heard of it.
I hadn't heard of it yet.
But There Will Be Blood, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson.
He'll become a friend of the show next week.
He will. Wow.
And Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah. What an accolade for these two men. You know, they've never won
Yeah.
much in their lives, so this is going to be great for them.
And it's on Stan.
Yeah, definitely get Stan. And watch along with us, you cowards. Please.
Henry. Anyone. Yeah.
No personal attacks, please. Anyways, Liam, Jaden, thank you very much for your time.
Cheers.
That's right.
We'll see you all next week. Until then, take care and goodbye. 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 Goodbye.